I wanted to talk about the Atlanta Falcons real quick and talk about the offensive struggles that the Atlanta Falcons has had to deal with for the current season. Now, taking a look at the quarterback situation, Desmond Ridder has been 224 for 354, 63.3 completion percentage, throwing 2,528 yards, 10 touchdowns, 10 picks, and averaging 7.1 yards per throw. Now, here's the interesting thing is, Desmond Ridder started 13 games. He's played 13 games, and he's 10 for 10. If you want your guy to be the future, your guy should not be 10 for 10 within 13 games. This guy should at least be 10 to 4 or 10 to 3. He should not have 10 for 10. That's like Jameis Winston playing 16 games and going 30 for 30. That is basically the same type of situations. No matter whether his completion percentage is better than Taylor Heinicke, because Taylor Heinicke's played in less games, but keep in mind, Taylor Heinicke has done better in less games. Taylor Heinicke, 664 for 107, 59.8 completion percentage. This is through 4 games, so he can't better his completion percentage. I would love to see his completion percentage if he had played the same number as Desmond Ridder. 727 yards in 4 games, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, which means Taylor Heinicke has had a touchdown in every single game that he has played. That is a very interesting thing. Desmond Ridder's played 13 games. He only has 10 touchdowns. Taylor Heinicke's played 4 games, has 4 touchdowns. And Taylor Heinicke has averaged 6.8 yards per throw. He's only 0.3 worse than Desmond Ridder, and Desmond Ridder's played 9 more games than Taylor Heinicke. That tells you what? I couldn't find the stat of how many times they fumbled the ball, because trust me, if I found that stat, I would have included it. Bijan Robinson, 188 carries, 873 yards, 4.6 average per carry, 4 touchdowns. And when it comes to receiving, Bijan also had 48 catches for 74 targets, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and his completion percentage in terms of him catching the ball is 64%. So which means Bijan Robinson in total had 188 carries, 488 catches, 1,246 all-purpose yards, and 7 touchdowns. Now, the interesting thing I wanted to also take a look at when it came to Bijan Robinson, in terms of the rookie running backs, he's actually leading the rookie running backs. In terms of the rookie running backs, he's played 15 games. He's at 873 yards, 188 attempts, averaging 4.6 yards per carry, and 4 touchdowns. Second place in terms of yards is Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is actually only 1 yard behind Bijan, but Jahmyr Gibbs has played 2 less games, so which means his average per carry is 5.7. Keep in mind, there's still 2 games left in the season, so there's a good chance that Jahmyr Gibbs' average per carry could be above 5, which means he'd be in the great category in terms of running backs. Bijan still needs to pick up his, and I do think that Bijan has a chance of getting to the 1,000-yard mark like Tyler Algier did last year, but we'll have to see. In terms of rushing attempts, Jahmyr Gibbs has had 154, averaging 5.7 yards per carry and 9 touchdowns. So in terms of Bijan Robinson's rookie running back season, I didn't think it was all that good, but Bijan's actually had a very good season, no matter how the fact that Desmond Ridder can't throw the ball to him, and Desmond Ridder keeps fumbling the ball, and the play caller, Arthur Smith, doesn't know how to call plays, because can you imagine if Bijan had been getting a majority of the carries throughout the season, Bijan would already be in the 1,000-yard mark. He has 2 games to get in the 1,000-yard mark. He should already be there. And he should be leading this rookie running back system by far. Tyler Algier, 175 carries, 646 yards, averaging 3.7 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. Algier also had 14 catches for 19 targets, 108 yards, and he was averaging 73% in terms of catching the ball. Tyler Algier has had only 13 less carries than Bijan Robinson. And keep in mind, when we got Tyler Algier, it was in the mid to late round picks. When we selected Bijan Robinson, it was with the number 8 overall pick in the first round. And he has had only 13 more carries than Tyler Algier. That is a problem. Because we drafted, I know we've got a 2 running back system, but we drafted Bijan to get a majority of the carries, and 13 more carries than Tyler Algier is not good in terms of number 1 status, which is basically what Bijan is. He's a pass catching, and he's also can run the ball down the throat. Tyler Algier is more the power running type of running back. So, I don't know. When it comes to receiving, Drake London had 61 catches for 91 targets, 808 yards, 2 touchdowns. Drake London cannot get to the 1,000-yard mark. That is very sad to see because I would have loved to see Drake London get another 1,000-yard receiving season, but he's not going to get to that. He is at an 808. We would need Taylor Heineke to throw him the ball a lot of the times in the next two games against the Chicago Bears, which has a good rush defense and a good pass defense, and then against the Saints, and the Saints are going to want to revenge after we beat them in the first game of the season. So do I see Drake London get to the 1,000-yard mark? No. I don't see any Falcons receiver get to the 1,000-yard mark. That is due down to the Arthur Smith situation. That's also mainly due down to Desmond Ritter not being able to throw the ball properly, not targeting his guys. When Taylor Heineke is in, Taylor Heineke is throwing the ball to receivers. Kyle Pitts has some yardage. Jonnu Smith has some yardage. Pitts gets some yardage. But when Ritter's in the game, you see Desmond Ritter only has like 2 catches, or Drake London goes 0 catches and 2 targets, and it's just like, how are you not getting to the ball to this guy? Kyle Pitts, 50 catches for 82 targets, 635 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jonnu Smith, 47 catches for 63 targets, 553 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, like I said, 48 catches for 74 targets, 373 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So, what does that mean in terms of the offense? Well, the offense, when it comes to running the ball, is what I expected. We were good at running the ball, but when it came to the quarterback play, Arthur Smith just kept keeping Desmond Ritter in the game when Desmond Ritter is such a bad quarterback that it affected us in terms of our receivers and in terms of our tight ends. Because maybe if Taylor Heineke had been in the game, Taylor Heineke, in the games that he has played, he was able to get the ball to his receivers / tight ends, maybe Drake London would be able to get over the 1,000-yard mark, but that's not going to happen. The only one that can get into the 1,000-yard mark in terms of yardage, besides the quarterback, is going to be Bijan Robinson. Like I said, Bijan Robinson is on 873 yards. He needs 127 yards through the next 2 games. Is it possible? He would need to average at least 63.5 yards for the next 2 games. I believe it's possible, but I'll have to see it when we play Chicago Bears this weekend and when we play the New Orleans Saints the weekend after that. But anyway, guys, I want to know your guys' opinions down in the comments down below. Do you think the offensive struggles are due down to Desmond Ritter, or do you think they're down to Arthur Smith? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys all next time.